Hi everyone, my name is Jack and I'm from South Korea. This is the first time really putting myself out there online. I don't even use social media, no Facebook, no Instagram. But I feel like I needed to make this podcast for some reasons. First, I've been holding so many emotions for so long. I can't keep them bottled up anymore. I wanted a space where I could just be real without worrying about being judged or letting anyone down. It's not that I want to die, but I also don't feel much motivation to keep going. I keep telling myself to try again, to start over, to push harder, and for a while I do. Then the next problem shows up and the voice in my head says, "You're not capable. You'll never get through this." I compare myself to others and it cuts me up. I see people who seem to be moving forward, building things, launching projects, celebrating milestones, and I feel like I don't have whatever they have. I feel like I'm being left behind, like I'm worthless in this world. It's not just about money. I want to feel proud. I want something I've done to matter, to mean something to me and to the people around me. I want to look back and say, I did that. Lately, it feels smaller, quieter, a longing for meaning wrapped in a constant heavy doubt. Some days that doubt wins, but then there are other moments, tiny flashes, when I remember I've survived hard things before, and that I might be able to build something that matters in a way that's true to me. Every now and then, I will hear from ordinary people who struggle and feel frustrated just like me, and it reminds me that I'm not alone. I've been looking everywhere for a place where I can actually hear from ordinary people who are struggling. Not the polished, highlighted reels, not the big inspirational speeches, just real voices sharing what hurts, what's heavy, what's hard. I think part of me just wants to know I'm not the only one. There's somewhere out there, someone else is stumbling through the same kind of mess and still trying to figure out. However, most websites or apps feel too noisy, too many functions, too many marketing tools. I also don't love that so many sites and apps funnel you straight to therapists or counselors. I respect your work, and if you need professional help, please get it. But often, you're seen through academic, certified skill lens, such as assessments, models, treatment plans. Useful, yes, but sometimes I just want a real conversation with people who knows the texture of this because they're in it or they've been through it, not because they've only studied it or heard about it. That's where the bond comes from. And with the bond, we can help each other all the barriers that feel impossible on. What I want is a quiet space, a place where I can share my feelings openly and where others feel safe enough to let out the emotion they've been suppressing too. If even one person feels motivated to express what they've been holding inside, then this will already be worth it. The second reason for this podcast is that most people know Korea through K-pop, K-dramas, and all the fun and shiny things. And I love that too. But there's another side that doesn't get shown much. The truth is, Korea has one of the highest suicide rates in the world. One of the reasons is that in Korea, we don't really have a safe place to openly talk about our struggles without shame. If I go to see a psychiatrist and all people find out, I'm immediately labeled as a weak, sick, or a weirdo. On top of that, it could even hurt me later with things like medical coverage or opportunities. So instead of reaching out for help, a lot of us just stay silent and carry the weight alone. When I study English with people from different countries, I realize how much our cultural, family, and environment shape the way we deal with problems. And I thought, wouldn't it be so amazing if we could learn from each other instead of staying stuck in the stereotypes? That's what I want this podcast to do. Create a little positive energy, help us feel less alone, and maybe even make life a bit better. In this podcast, what I truly hope is to receive real stories from real people from different countries. People who want to be part of this and share their experience with us. In the meantime, I also want to share stories of a survivor, how people in Korea try to get by financially, the failure they face, and how they keep finding ways to overcome. Everyone has their own struggles, but by hearing these stories from different countries, maybe we can realize we are not alone, and maybe even learn new ways to face our own challenges. I don't know exactly where this podcast will go, but for now, I just want it to be a place where I can share my real feelings, and where you feel safe to share yours too. Now you might wonder why I'm doing this in English instead of Korean. To be honest, it's like a protective layer. I don't know if this podcast will ever get popular, but I really don't want my family or friends to hear it. I've never said these things to them, and I want to be able to speak honestly without worrying about how it affects my daily life. English gives me that space to be open but still a little anonymous. And I will keep it authentic. I won't edit much. My English isn't perfect and I'll probably make a mistake here and there. But I think it's better to speak from the heart and be understood by the heart, instead of trying to sound perfect for the brain. My motto is, I'm going to die soon anyway. Now don't take me the wrong way. This has nothing to do with suicidal thoughts or anything like that. It's just, in life, there's really only one thing you can know for sure, 100%, that one day we're all going to die. And for me, that actually works like a kind of insurance. Whatever failure I face, whatever situation I struggle with, it's only temporary. It will pass, because in the end, so will I. And that thought encouraged me. Instead of giving up, it pushed me to take a leap of faith in my life, to try things anyway. So remember, we're all going to die soon anyway. But until then, we are not alone.